Ooh, a bit dark, isn't it? A bit dark, isn't it? That's a bit better. That's a bit more human. Lighting is such an issue, isn't it? Hello, hello people. Hi. Can you hear me okay? Can you see me okay? All that good stuff. Drop me like a message, be like, yeah, all good. We can think of a bowl of oatmeal. I'm assuming that's a compliment. Thank you, I think. My hair is, oh my God, my hair is a nightmare. Thick with the double C, so I'm assuming that's a good thing. Look how long my hair is. Isn't that absolutely insane? Needs a wash, so don't pay too much attention to it. So, I feel like I need to run a special intro. The Kiki. What is going on? What is life? What is this? What is happening? So, oh, have I got? Or is that the light? Bear with. Bear with. I feel like I've got something around my face. Is that better? Am I a bit more presentable? I'm never presentable. Right. Hello, peeps. Hello, 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 hello. So we're doing the Kiki. Thoughts on making an OnlyFans account? No. Sorry. Let's close that one down now. No. Unless lockdown keeps going. If lockdown keeps going till August, then, you know, boys got to eat. But I have no plans. Ben, hello. Chris, hello. Hello, hello. Please say hi in the chat. Devil's Advocate. Oh, I like playing Devil's Advocate in an argument. Hello. So, the Kiki, let's talk. Let's talk, people, about episode 9 of season 12. Because I was thinking about it. We did this live chat thing the other day, or a week ago or something. And it was really popular. And I thought I'd do one for the Kiki, because a lot of people were asking about it. And I was like, look, we're halfway through a season, and I don't know if the demand, if the appetite is still there for the Kiki, especially being halfway through the season. So I thought, well, I'll do like a live stream and see if people still want to talk. Maybe a little bit more like an interactive Kiki than before, and then we'll see how it goes, and maybe it'll come back. No promises, but maybe. We'll see how this goes. So no pressure, peeps. Love Gigi, or gagged. Love Gigi, but she should have lip synced, to be honest. Yeah. They went really easy on Gigi. Also, don't feel like Widow was that bad. You know what? Same. I think this goes to show editing. A lot of people don't really believe in the edit, and I'm like, she was funny. I thought she was really funny, but they knew they couldn't send Jackie home. Like, you can't have Jackie versus Gigi at this stage in the competition because it doesn't fit their storyline. So, I mean, I know I sound like a conspiracy theorist, and I don't mean to. It's just, I mean, they know that Jackie's going to be popular. They're going to want to, like, see her go a bit further, but you can't put Jackie and Gigi together. You could have put, I thought it was going to be Gigi and Widow, because in terms of the competition, Widow was expendable, I think. But, you know, they always have a few people that they're like, yeah, you know, we think they're just, you know, expendable. And I think Widow was that for them today, which was a shame. By the way, spoiler alert, if we're talking about it, I feel like I have to put spoiler alert. Otherwise, people are going to get, Anyway. I thought Widow's jokes were funny. I thought that she was playing the character really well, like the angry politician. I got it. I thought she was funnier than Jackie and Gigi, and I mean, to be honest, even Jada, I was a bit surprised Jada won, if I'm really honest. I thought it was going to be Heidi or Crystal. If you watch the pit stop on this episode with Bob Drake, she kind of hints at the edit going towards Gigi being the winner. So, well, the edit is heavily towards Gigi. Rel, hi. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously the edit is very much going towards Gigi, and I think they were obviously the other edit was going to be for Sherry and Pie. I think they've tried to adjust it slightly so that out of whoever is in top 4 or top 3, that in theory Gigi will have some kind of competition. But certainly in this episode and last episode, they haven't painted Gigi in like the best of light. Like in the last episode, they painted her as quite patronizing, and this episode as quite resting on her wins. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? They've painted her as being a bit cocky, I think is probably the word. And so for her to be in the bottom 3 2 weeks in a row, sis, that's tea. And the fact that Crystal has been really high up, and Heidi, I think they're sort of... I really hope Crystal makes top 4, top 3. She's given me Naomi Smalls vibes in her run thus far, in the sense that she's just playing it super safe. Yeah. Crystal has flown under the radar big time. I mean, to be honest, Naomi did the same. Naomi should have gone home against Acid Betty, but that's a different story. Yeah, I love Crystal. She's the only queen not to have lip-synced so far. Because Sherry and Jada have lip-synced, not for their life, but for some dollar. And Gigi. But Crystal, we haven't seen perform yet, which is really interesting. That we've come this far in the competition, we don't know. The fact that Crystal is in top 6, including Sherry in this run, she's top 6 and she still hasn't performed. She's got a trick up her sleeve if she can perform. If she can do it, then she's got a trick up her sleeve, and that is going to be really exciting. Because, as you say, that she's kind of like, she's on a bit of a roll. Touch wood. Long may it continue, because I like Crystal. Not happy with Jeff Goldblum's comments that he made. I think we need to talk about. Because that was one of the biggest reasons. Because I was umming and ahhing. I was like, should I do like a Kiki? Over the last few days, I was like, we could do it live. And as I explained earlier, we could do live, or, I don't know. We'll see how this one goes and we'll go from there. Because this has been a really interesting season. But the thing I was most surprised about from this episode wasn't who went home, wasn't even the winner. I was a bit like, Jada, really? No. I'm really surprised that Jeff Goldblum was trending on Twitter. And half of it was because they were like, oh my God, he's tearing up at the lip sync, it's so cute. And the other half were dragging him. And honestly, when I didn't see why they were dragging him, and I was sat there with my phone, I was like, why are they dragging Jeff Goldblum? I don't get it, at all. And then I looked into it and I was like, really? So I thought we need to talk about this, because the people, it seems there was a lot of Americans dragging him. And the British people I've spoken to were like, I don't get it. Really don't get the problem. So I'm wondering, Jackie should not have been in the bottom at all. Yes, she should have. She wasn't funny. I mean, I probably would have saved Jackie. I probably would have had Widow and Gigi. I think Widow's look was I think she could have been a little bit more polished, considering that she has been so But I think you can't put Gigi and Jackie together in a lip sync. But really, they did the worst. Jackie and Gigi did the worst, but they're not going to put Gigi up just yet, unless she's guaranteed to win. And they weren't sure she could beat Widow, but they knew that with Firework, girl, Jackie could beat Widow, because Widow's a good dancer. Crystal's got a few videos on YouTube and they're really quite quirky and good. Oh, well, that's exciting then. I haven't looked. I tend not to research the queens too much. I hate that a lot of fans just hate some of the guest judges because they're cis, white, and straight. Well, the reason that people were kicking off about Jeff Goldblum, now let's talk, was because of the comment that he made about Jackie's hijab. And they were talking about something, and then he said, you know, does this also raise a point about anti-gay and anti-woman in Islam? And I didn't see the issue with the question. Like, as I say, I went onto Twitter and I was like, why are they dragging him? I don't get it. And then someone posted the clip and I was like, oh, I see. I see what they mean. However, I think if you take it in the context of it going on, the previous question was something to do with the fact that she was wearing a hijab made of stars and stripes. Like, that is a powerful image. Like, it really is a powerful image. And they aren't, the other queens were not exaggerating when they said that Jackie has like flung the doors wide open with that look, because it was a very powerful look. And that's what, what's her name? I can't remember the female guest judge's name, something Bloom, Emily Bloom? Can't remember her name because I don't know her. She made some reference about the statement it was making. And then Jeff Goldblum, for me, was taking the point further by saying, you know, how does this then work with, like, you know, anti-gay, anti-woman? And I think what his point was is that in some Muslim majority countries, this is where we're getting very serious, some Muslim majority countries don't have a particularly good record for being very pro-gay and very pro-women's liberties or women's rights. I mean, Saudi Arabia have only just let women drive a car. So they're not at the same sort of level in terms of, you know, Western rights and Middle Eastern rights. And that's their prerogative. That, you know, they're a country, they're sovereign, they can do what they want. What he was doing, I think, was relating Islam to a cultural movement. But it's a very fine line or blurred line, because some of those countries just happen to be Muslim majority, whereas others have their laws influenced by Islam. And then it kind of gets, you know, one way it's coming from this side, other way it's coming from this side, and sort of everyone in the West is kind of stuck in the middle going like, so which one, what's going on? So I believe his point was, Rachel Bloom, thank you, Chris, and Rel, it was, I feel like it was genuine, inquisitive question about, you know, trying to understand more about the culture and the religion, which are separate, but also in some places kind of intertwined, and how that then plays out for a Canadian American immigrant from Iran who isn't religious but comes from that culture. Like, there's a lot of, this isn't a straight, clear-cut case here. And I felt that his point, to labour this point, I felt that his point was building on the original statement of Jackie was wearing a hijab made of stars and stripes. Like, oh my God, the power of that imagery. And then he's come forward saying about anti-gay, anti-woman, which we do see a lot of in Western press. That is what we see. I think his point was that this isn't just a statement because it's a hijab made of stars and stripes. It is a hijab made of stars and stripes by the son of an Iranian immigrant who is gay and a drag queen. So the statement, the power of this imagery is not just hijab and stars and stripes, which Rachel was kind of implying, which is still a fair point. I think he was trying to suggest it was something even bigger, that it was a hijab made of stars and stripes. That, you know, for a gay person who is an immigrant in America, in Trump's America, of an Iranian who does, and he does drag, impersonating a woman. It's a man impersonating a woman. But this is more than just 2 points. This was big. And I think some of that subtlety was either lost in the edit or lost in translation onto social media. I think some people may have very valid reason. They might be like, you know what, I just think his question was a bit inappropriate. Perhaps he could have worded it a bit better. Am I going a bit red? I think perhaps he could have worded it a bit better. But I think, you know, when you're in the moment, you just sort of say things. And he probably felt very comfortable to be asking those questions. There's a lot of people that won't feel comfortable asking that. And I think there are layers here, as well as saying. And I think that certainly this isn't like a real clear-cut case of him being like super anti-Islam. I think he's just trying to sort of imply that the statement is actually bigger than they were even implying to begin with, and they were saying it was a big statement. So yeah. What do you think? Let's have a look at the comments. I love that you're commenting on this. I love that there's this banter going on. Please keep it up. This is brilliant. I feel like his questions on intersexualism being queer, Muslim, etc., just out of curiosity. I don't think he meant any harm by it, just was looking to bring attention to the topic. I think there's an element of that, Chris, this sort of, you know, curiosity. But I think for me, the way that I viewed it was more that he was trying to build on the original point, take it further. I think he had realized that it was even more powerful, which is really interesting, you know, that he's trying to get really involved. You know, this is someone who probably, I mean, he didn't seem to know a lot of the references, so he probably doesn't watch Drag Race. And so for him to be so like involved in it from this one episode, and that cute little thing where he left the stage, it's like, wow. You know, I think it shows that he's actually quite interested, which would then, you know, build on the idea of curiosity. I thought he was asking valid questions. This is Rel. I thought he was asking valid questions because there are a lot of misogynistic and homophobic views in that religion. I think there are some misogynistic and homophobic views in most religions, all religions, most, even if you're non-religious. I think there's a lot of people that have views like that. Some of them will use religion as a reason for it. Others will just say, no, it's not in my religion, but, you know, don't like gay people. Some might not be religious at all, and they'll be like totally liberal, and others will be not religious, and they're still like that. So don't know if you can really correlate the two. Do you know what I mean? But I think his question was related to the fact that some people do correlate the two. Yes. So convoluted, isn't it? And this is the problem with social media and Twitter, because you get like, well, it's not 140 now, you get 280 characters to explain such a topic. I mean, we've spent almost 20 minutes, well, 10 minutes talking about this. And people trying to get all of that condensed into one tweet. This is where communication disappears, people, because you can't explain yourself fully and thoroughly. So you kind of have to do snapshots. Loved Rachel. She was fun. I felt she was quite a well-rounded judge, actually. She had big food, big. Christ, I can't even talk about one glass of wine. She's had big shoes to fill by by sitting in Michelle's chair. Side of question, did I recently shave? I did. I'm in isolation, I'm playing around. What do we think? I want to fully shave. So what I did was I trimmed this part, and I had a little thing here and my moustache. I had that for a few days, and I thought, you know what, it just makes me look older. So, or like from the 70s. So I trimmed all this, and I thought, well, I'll trim this while I'm there. So I'm now stubbly, and I am toying with the, am I going red or is that just me? I'm toying with the idea of going for a full clean shave just to see what it looks like. But what do we think? Side note, I know. What do we think? I feel the same about most religions too, but don't judge those who follow the good parts of them. Well, there we go. I mean, you know, I feel like if this whole situation was someone who was gay and Christian on the show, it would be a non-issue. The Muslim community definitely has negative stigma in the US, yet most major organized. That's part one, I think, of a comment. Well, I think that the uproar on Twitter, I don't think I saw any Muslim people complaining, maybe one. I was looking, and I don't think there was many Muslim people. But maybe there were, maybe I didn't see them. But the ones that I saw, and I was looking at a few, they didn't seem to be. They didn't say that they were, you know, in their profile, their bio, or in their tweet. Most major religions historically have a bad rap with homophobia. Yeah, a lot of religions do have a bad rap with it. Thank you. Good look for me. Thank you very much. Well, I'm going to try going for a full clean shave. Maybe tomorrow. I'll see how I feel. I haven't had a full shave since 2012. I know. But yeah, so that was an interesting takeaway from this episode. Of all the things I thought would happen, I didn't think that Jeff Goldblum would be dragged on Twitter. But, I feel like we have all come to an agreement on that one, that perhaps, it's more complicated than Twitter was implying it out to be. So what else did we think? What else happened? It was the cats, wasn't it? That was quite amusing. I quite enjoyed that. Yeah, that was very good. But that wasn't really the big thing. So let's talk about Choices 2020 and the characters. So Sherry Pie did another older person, but it was obvious that it was kind of like a Hillary Clinton takeoff. Chris, I will come back to that off topic. I will come back to that. We'll circle back round. And yeah, so Sherry did another older character, but it was more like Hillary Clinton. But when she was like encouraged to do the older thing, she kind of just went with it. But that was a bit of a repeat. Rel is right. Crystal, I think, did something very different. Okay, she did she did the mullet again, but she knows it's a crowd pleaser. But I feel like the character was different. Like different character, same mullet. Heidi was good. I thought Heidi or Crystal were going to win, if I'm really honest. I thought Widow really stepped out of her box, actually, and I thought she brought it. I was laughing with her, not at her. Sherry as Kate, Crystal and her mullet, Gigi the robot. Well, I thought, I was like, Gigi, was she supposed to be a robot? Or was she just like being a non-funny human? I don't really get it. I didn't understand Gigi's persona at all. Jackie, yeah, that Canadian thing ran dry real quick because I didn't realize she was Canadian. She probably mentioned earlier, but I didn't remember. So that point felt laboured. And then Jada, I thought she'd be in the bottom. I really did. I really wasn't. They seemed to enjoy her performance, and I thought, well, maybe they'll put her in the top. But this was before I saw the outfit, because the outfit was really good. I saw her outfit, and I was like, I feel proud. And I was like, I'm not American. But you know what I mean? It was like a really powerful. I really liked that outfit from Jada. But I didn't think she was that funny. I just didn't think she was that funny. That whole, like, she didn't really answer any questions. And like, oh yeah, you're going for confusion. It's not really that. I just think it could have been executed better. So I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, but Heidi and Crystal's mullet whistle humor this episode felt genuine to who they are as drag queens. I kind of agree with that. Kaz! Kaz, OMG! Look over there! Yes! Hi, Kaz. I hope you're well. I know, Kaz. Gigi and Sherry felt like they were kind of grasping for straws this challenge. I think Sherry was trying to showboat. I think she had a pretty decent character. And then they kind of were like, the judges who obviously hadn't seen her Snatch Game or her Grey's Anatomy, she made some sort of like old lady joke, and they liked it, so she ran with it, obviously, as she would. So, but Gigi was grasping. Rock the Casbah! How did I not think of that? Rock the Casbah! Rock the Casbah! So, yeah, like, I thought it was going to be Gigi and Widow. I thought that Jackie's presentation would save her, because although Gigi's look was very well executed, I think they could have been justified in saying, yeah, it's very good, but look at Jackie's. Like, come on, you both did crap, but her runway was spectacular. I think they could have. I thought they were going to do a Gigi Widow thing just to make it a bit more interesting, to kind of take Gigi down a knock and be like, "Oh, she's not runaway winner," and they didn't do it. Which I'm really surprised by. Which I think, because when I was watching it, and I was sat here in this very chair, and I said to myself, right, obviously the bottom three are Widow, Jackie, and Gigi, and I said, I think Gigi deserves to be in the bottom more, but it depends on the song. If they think that Jackie can beat Widow, who is a very good performer, if she can beat her because of the song, then they'll give it to Jackie. And when they said it was Firework, I was like, bitch, of course it's Jackie. Of course it's Jackie, because that is such an empowering song, and it would suit her better. It's like when they were like, oh, by the way, it's a Shaka Khan number, and Widow needed a kick up the bum. Like, even in Drag Race UK, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, I'll keep out names, but there was one where the one of the girls who lands at the bottom two did a girl group number, and her whole thing is girl groups, and she's like, did amazing. And then the next week, someone else lands at the bottom two with her, and they gave her a song that she like auditioned with. So, girl. Yeah, so I thought it'd be Gigi, but when I found out it was Firework, I was like, yeah, girl, Jackie's got it. Jackie's going to be in the bottom two. What else happened? Mention, write comments, write things, because this is a two-way thing. Side note, to go back to Chris, off topic, how am I holding up with this COVID situation? I'm okay, thank you very much for asking. So far, touch wood, still well and healthy. This is day 30 odd for me now. I've lost track. And I have no work because I'm self-employed and I work in the fitness industry. So I think it's going to be a while before I'm back to work. Sorry, Kaz. Kaz is a gym goer. This is a horrible comment, but I've noticed any female African American artists song that's lip syncs the African American cream always win. I haven't noticed that. I haven't been paying that much attention. Don't know. I have not paid any attention to that, so I wouldn't be able to comment. That wouldn't be fair. I feel there is a lot of bias and planned eliminations before the challenges even happen. Girl. I shouldn't laugh. Girl! Wake up, Pearl. Of course. Like, I think they already set Widow up to fall this episode, even though she did well, in my opinion. Yeah, it's called editing. Like, this was why I kind of had an issue with Drag Race in the first place, because, like, I love Drag Race. I love it. But I started to see through the looking glass in season 8, and season 9, it felt really... Well, it was the latter part of season 7. I started to see it. It was the whole Pearl thing, ironically enough. It was the Pearl storyline that made me start thinking, like, why they kept Pearl? And then when they pulled that shtick with the whole, here's 7-year-old, whatever his name is, what would you say? And I was like, girl, because they haven't done that before. And I knew that they were waiting for her to break down. That something happened with Pearl that they must have an inkling of. And they wanted her to break down on camera. And she didn't. She waited. And they were like, we've got to keep her around. Because, I mean, she's a great queen, but girl, she was not performing in season 7. So I started to be like, oh, okay, editing. And then season 8, I was like, because there's so many comedy challenges. And who do they have on there? Bob the drag queen. Love Bob, but I mean, girl. And then season 9, it became a bit too much for me, and I was like, Jesus Christ. And then All Stars bullshit. Don't get me started. And then like season 10, 11, I was like, I just can't be dealing with it. It's just too set up. Because don't forget, these Pearl Smash. I've just seen that, Chris. Pearl Smash. Pearl Smash. The thing is, they decide what challenges there are, other than Snatch Game, because we always know it's coming. And long may that continue. But they choose. I mean, come on, All Stars 2. They put Roxy Andrews in, and there's not a single sewing challenge. And there's all those comedy challenges. Girl, you want to talk about fair competition? Okay, let's talk about All Stars 2. That's the tea. That's the tea, sis. I mean, Christ, like, you know, I think that's where All Stars 3 was interesting, because I really don't think they expected Dayla to do so damn well. She was smart, I think. I think she knew something was up. I like to think that she knew something was up. That's what I like to think. And the fact that they didn't give Shanja, because they wanted Trixie to win. Trixie's the only winner of any season that didn't win a single challenge. Girl, that's the tea. The mother effing edit is the true winner of RuPaul's Drag Race. I don't know if it's a winner, but, you know, Pearl Smash. Do you think that Gigi winning this season is a done deal? No. No, because they have the live show, and I know that the reason the live show was put in place originally was because Mimi I'm First leaked season 3, the winner and everything, because it was a done deal. Yeah, who would have thought Dayla would do that, Chris? Who would have thought? Yeah, so Mimi I'm First leaked season 3, like everything that happened. And so they were like, okay, we can't have this happen again. So they did like a top 3, and then we're like, we're going to leave it to a live show. And obviously that was, I believe, just the original idea. And probably they wanted to go to that kind of scale, you know, kind of parody Miss World a little bit, because everything that happens in Drag Race is a parody of something else. I think what then happened was that it also, as a side effect, like if I'm a producer, right, put yourself in a producer's shoes, and you want to make sure that this show has longevity. And if you are parodying like America's Next Top Model and, you know, America's Got Talent and, you know, Project Runway and stuff, all things that are pre-recorded, you don't know how the audience is going to react. The best way for you to have longevity is to keep the audience engaged and to make sure that the winner is deserving. Because, I mean, if you pick the wrong winner, like we saw with America's Next Top Model, the fandom can backlash quite harsh. So what the live show, I think if I was a producer, also says to me is not only does it kind of prevent spoilers to an extent, but it also means that they can then control the winner. Because season 4, it was either Chad or Sharon. They could see the lie of the land, that Sharon was significantly more popular. Give it to Sharon. She deserved it. It's justifiable, but it would have also been justified giving it to Chad. I think we can be sure that the top 2 in any other season, Chad and Sharon were in top 2. Spoiler alert, sorry. When you then get later series, okay, we've added in the lip sync for the crown, which, again, questionable. But it also does mean that with the power of editing, they can kind of make sure that the person they want to win, or the person that the public wants to win, is going to win. I mean, when we go through it, Violet, I mean, we go through all the seasons. Spoiler alert, people. Spoiler alert. If you don't want to know the winners of season 4 onwards, press the mute button and we'll come back. Season 4, Sharon, you know, fan favorite. Season 5, Jinx. I thought they would give it to Alaska, but Jinx was very, very popular and quite frankly deserved it. Season 6, I mean, obviously, but it could have gone any way. Do you know what I mean? Like, especially that top 3, it could have gone any way. 7 was surprised. No, I thought she was the most deserving. 8, again, when you look at the top 3, they were diverse enough that if the public wanted someone different, they could have given it to someone else. And then, like, you know, Sasha. I mean, out of the top 2 of Peppermint and Sasha was very popular. Aquaria was popular. They've all been popular. Who was last year? Yeah, perfect example. Perfect example. Evie, hugely popular. Didn't have nearly as good a run as Brooke. Didn't have nearly as good a run. Can I see who's in the chat? Actually, because I know a couple of people haven't seen it. Evie was much more popular. She's fallen from grace now a little bit, but at the time, and I was like, girl. But it means from a production point of view, you can always guarantee that the public are going to like the winner because it's a live show. So long story short, is Gigi winning this season a done deal? No, I don't think so. If this is a huge hypothetical, huge, because Gigi is popular, don't get me wrong, she's very popular, but, and you know, she probably is, but it's a bit anticlimactic, isn't it? So if Crystal keeps on this upward trend, if she gets a win under her belt, and if she can turn it, if she gets to the top 4 and she can turn it, because the public are really behind Crystal, I think they're probably more behind Crystal than Gigi. If they can justify it, they could give it to Crystal. At the moment, I think those two, in terms of fans, are in the lead. But I have a horrible feeling they're going to do Crystal dirty and send her home in 5th place. I have no sources on that. I just have a feeling, a gut feeling. But then again, they might put Heidi in 5th because then she can be Miss Congeniality. You can't be Congeniality if you're top 4. Crystal winning would be the most shocking winner. Would it, though? Would it? I mean, Sasha Velour winning, that was shocking. That was shocking. Who would have thought? Against Trinity and Shay. Who would have thought? Rip Kimchi. I know. I thought for sure she would have been one of the first out. I thought, when I saw the Meet the Queens, I didn't get it. I was like, she's cute. I don't get her drag. And literally the second she walked through the door, I was like, got it, love her. Love her. So, yeah, I'm really glad that Crystal's still here. And I'm really glad that she's shown more than just coasting safe, because she was at one point, and then she's nice. Heidi is so brilliant. Heidi is genius. She's so funny. Disagree. True, Sasha was out of nowhere for me. I thought it would be Shay. I thought it would be Shay or Trinity. Quite frankly, I wanted Trinity. I thought she deserved it more. But I was really shocked. But you know the tea on that. Do you know the tea on season 9 finale? Shall we spill? So I heard, get this. Oh, Rel, we need to come back to that question. Who else do I think can win? Then again, I've sort of covered it. Let's talk. I've heard that apparently Trinity and Peppermint, once they saw the edit of the show, knowing that, and stop me if I've told you this, knowing that the edit plays a huge role, which it does, as we all know, the edit plays a big role. Once they saw the live shows before the finale was filmed, they apparently got in contact with each other and said, girl, it's obviously being set up that they want the top 2 to be Shay and Sasha, because they have really pushed in the second half of the show, the season, they really pushed this kind of bonding that they had, this sort of great friendship. You know, they did a few group tasks together, which they won. In fact, side note, Sasha's only wins were 2 wins shared with Shay. She'd never won on her own back, ever. So apparently, Trinity and Peppermint were talking, said, look, girl, this is obvious that they want a top 2. And knowing about the lip sync, they apparently said to each other, if the random allocator lands on one of us, we pick the other, so that one of us is top 2, guaranteed. Because, and I can't remember where I read that. I read it at the time, and I thought that kind of makes sense because it landed on Trinity, right? Do you honestly think that Trinity would not have picked Shay? Trinity wanted to win and to be the best. And to be the best, you have to beat the best. Who was her biggest competition? Shay. And why, when it landed on Trinity, why would she not say, I'm going to take on Shay and I'm going to beat her? Because she's my biggest competition. She wouldn't risk not getting to the final with her biggest competition unless she had another plan. And I think she had another plan. And I heard about this tale, and it meant that, as Chris is saying, the edit couldn't be fulfilled all the way. The edit couldn't go all the way. They could force, if it landed, it was a 50-50 chance that it would happen. But if it landed on Peppermint or Trinity, they would force the face-off between the two. It would force it to happen too soon, as almost a little 2 fingers up to the production team. And I could believe it. I know this is me being all conspiracy theory because it could be false, but I could believe it. She picked Peppermint? She picked Peppermint? If you wanted an easy ride to the top 2, you'd pick Sasha, unbeknowing that she would pull out that kind of, Peppermint was a lip sync assassin. You wouldn't take her on. But Shay was your competition. Trinity would pick Shay. She just would. What do you think? Do you think that's true? I think it's true. But maybe it's the wine talking. Health, health, health. Yeah. Rel believes it. Yeah. Because I used to be a bit of a Reddit fiend at the time. I haven't really followed Reddit for 3 years, since season 9. Because I've been watching Drag Race more out of obligation, because I started to sort of see through it. I was like, girl, just they're drag queens. There's going to be drama. Just let it play out. But season 12, I have enjoyed, actually. I have enjoyed season 12, I have to admit. Look at Trinity now with All Stars, girl. But really, girl, let's not talk about All Stars 4. We don't talk about All Stars 4. Still not over Manila. Who are my top 4 this season? Out of who's left? In terms of who do I think will be top 4, Jesus, God knows. Honestly, this season has been so shocking that I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Gigi goes home before the top 4. Like, who would have thought? I mean, if you haven't seen season 12 by now, who would have thought that Dahlia would be the first to go? I mean, she's from the House of Aja. Who would have thought? Who was next? Rockham? That was just depressing. That was unfair. Who would have thought Nikki would be third? Who would have thought Jan would go out in the middle? There have been some really big names that have gone. And, like, who would have thought that? I actually was quite happy that Aiden stayed. And I do think that the Queens came for her very harshly. I was gutted that Jan left. Again, it was very shocking. So I could see Gigi going home before the top 4. But then again, she's had 2 very near misses. And quite frankly, this week's, she probably could have been at the bottom. So I think we can say that Gigi's top 4. I think we can say that Jada is top 4. I think Sherry is top 4, but the last 2 weeks, much like Gigi, she has stumbled, and the judges have said this week for the first time, they're like, she's kind of coasting on old lady, like, but I think Sherry is top 4, so I think we have Gigi, Sherry, Jada. Then it comes down to the other 3. Do they give Heidi the Miss Congeniality edit and let her go out in 6th place or 5th place so she can get Congeniality? Also sets her up for an All-Stars return, because I believe every Miss Congeniality has been back on screen except... No, I think they've all been back. Let me think. Stacey hasn't, but she made an honorary appearance. No, she wasn't Congeniality, was she? I think every Miss Congeniality, or most of them, have been invited back. So Heidi going out before top 4 and being given Miss Congeniality would kind of pave the way for an All-Stars return, which I think they might be more inclined, because that would be a glow up. Like, her makeup at the moment is still a bit questionable. Can you imagine, like, 2 years down the line? The glow up's going to be real. So I feel like Heidi could be 5th or 6th place. For that reason, then we're left with Crystal and Jackie. Crystal's on a bit of a high at the moment. Jackie's been on a bit of a low. What does next week entail? I don't know. I feel like next week is the reading challenge. And what's the main challenge? They did hint at it, didn't they, in the trailer? I can't remember now. Depends what the main challenge is. I feel like the top... and then again, it depends. So if Sherry is in the top 4, makeover challenge, that's it, makeover week. I think Heidi might struggle because she struggles with her own makeup. Sorry, girl. Sorry, girl. And it would be interesting, has Gigi done someone else's makeup before? Has she? She could work her way around her face. Can she work her way around someone else's face? I feel like Jada could probably do really well. And I feel like Crystal might do well, but then again, there's a lot that goes on in that face. She might not have time. It depends on if the girls have done other faces before. Jackie's mug has been a bit questionable as well. I could see Jackie falling in the bottom 2. So if they remove Jackie first before Crystal, then Crystal has a chance of getting to top 4. But I don't know. I don't know. My personal top 4? Oh, okay. If Gigi has done Mars J and it was good, then okay, I think we know that Gigi's talents are there, because we have seen very talented queens come a cropper at the makeover challenge because they can't paint anyone else. Was it Coco? Couldn't paint other people? So I'm getting very distracted by my man bun. Wood panel, hello. Hello. Then again, hey, we're talking about as if Sherry's not in the room. I feel like Sherry will be in the bottom 2 before she gets to the top 4. Maybe that will be the week. Maybe it'll be Sherry versus Jackie, and she'll send Jackie home. Maybe. Maybe. Right. No more wine. I'm being good. It's very late. Well, late. It's a Saturday night. I mean, come on. Woo, let's party. Saturday night in. Oh my God, have I been at this for 50 minutes? Time flies when you're having fun. I enjoy this. I should do this all the time. All the time. Yeah, so my top 4, I feel like Sherry will be there, but I feel like they'll give her a little trip up moment. I feel like she'll be in the bottom 2 before she gets there. If Heidi survives the next episode, I think Rel is right. Oh, that maybe Heidi could end up in 5th. Sherry's disqualified. Heidi replaces Sherry and Heidi wins. Potentially. Heidi's a good performer, but how do I think they'll do the finale? So, given the current circumstances. So, I don't know. I think it depends if America reopens. Because they would be filming top 4. They'll be filming the reunion in 2 weeks' time. I think it's 2 weeks. So, and then it airs 2 weeks later. So we've got like a month before the finale. Some American states are reopening. Would they transfer production to like Georgia? Because there's big production facilities in Georgia, I believe. I doubt they would. I doubt they would, because a lot of the queens will not want to be around each other. They would want to make a stand and be like, I'm not sitting next to anyone. Unless they did like a, hey, we're going to be 2 meters apart, like they do on the TV. We're 2 meters apart, we're observing social distancing. Maybe that's how they could get around it. No audience kind of thing. Like old school, you know, in a back production lot, maybe. You know, combine the reunion and the crowning in one. Maybe. Quadruple crowning. If they do a quadruple crowning, no. Digital lip sync battle, maybe, but then it's very difficult to kind of control those circumstances. You know, what tricks have they got in their apartment that others might not have? You know what I mean? Like, say you're a drag queen living in a tiny shoebox apartment in New York City on your own, and say you are another queen that's maybe got a house or a staircase. You could imagine like someone on a staircase like throwing down confetti at a big moment. That's the first thing I thought of, is that the circumstances aren't the same for everyone. What if you don't have a lot of room? So that could be tricky. That could be really tricky. I feel like they might push it as far as they can. If America is reopening, questionable. But if America is reopening, they might push it till like June and see. Because they can always be like, look, we're going to hold off. We're going to see. Look, here's your top 4. We're going to hold off. We want the queens to be done right. And I have a follow-up to this. We want the queens to be served right. If it means that we have to wait till June, July to crown them, then we'll wait till June, July to crown them. And then if that means that we then have to, you know, they get a 10-month reign, so be it. If it pushes so far that it's like September, what I could see happening is them filming then and saying, right, what we'll do is we'll push All Stars 5, because I think All Stars 5 is supposed to be this summer. They might push that so that then you've kind of got a winter All Stars season. Because don't forget, if they can't film a reunion, then they can't film a season. And they film over summer. So they would want to create space. They have one in the bank. I believe UK Drag Race had started filming and we went into lockdown. So that stopped, I believe. But they can't film a regular season. So they have one stored up that's edited, good to go. They can save that for as long as they need. So if there's, say, a year and a half without a regular season, they can put All Stars 2 in the middle. Normally it's every 12 months. They could put All Stars, push it back, and then give the queen enough time to then reign. and make that coin. Because don't forget, the reunion is also to remind people of who went home. I can't even remember everyone that went home. And it reminds them, then they can go on tour, make that coin. Without the reunion, the Queens are losing out big time. I just hope the season has an end, since they cancelled Big Brother Canada this season midway. I did see that. Fascinating moment, wasn't it, when they told them? Because they obviously knew about coronavirus, because people had been talking about it since before Christmas. And then they're like, by the way, the world has stopped. And they're like, girl. Ironically, that was the safest place they could be. And they were like, hey, by the way, come on out into the apocalypse, people. Should have just kept them in there. Easy viewing. Big Brother Canada, by the way, and I think Big Brother Canada is very similar to Big Brother USA. There's a lot of strategy, right? Totally different to the UK. Totally different to the UK. Completely. I'm wondering why they're overlapping Celeb Drag Race. Victor, very good point. I was wondering the same thing. I haven't seen Celeb Drag Race yet. I was wondering why they were even overlapping it. It seems crazy to overlap at the best of times, and then all of a sudden, we're in this lockdown situation and they can't push it? Is it, 4 weeks long? Push it. Push it as long as you can, and then you can use that as a buffer, and then you can use All Stars 5 as a buffer, and then you can do season 13 a year or two down the line. Girl, you would think they'd be safe, but there's production going in and out of the house daily. True. We'll just leave them to their own devices then. Just let them fend for themselves. Give them no food. See if they turn into cannibals. I don't know. Make great TV. There were 3.5 hours of Drag Race on last night. 3.5 hours. I mean, I like Drag Race as much as the next person, but 3.5 hours. I have to split watching the show and Untucked now, because I love that the show is an hour long now, without adverts. I'm a Netflix boy. But Untucked, I save it for lunch. I'm like, I can't do it back to back. I can't do it. I can't sit there for an hour and a half watching Drag Race. I just can't do it. So I save it. Sorry. 3.5 hours. And adverts. And in America, those adverts run like every 5 minutes. How do Americans watch TV? Like, whenever I've been to America and I put the TV on, you're just getting into it. It's like 3 or 4 minutes into the show, and then boom, we're going to an advert break. One of our channels, 2 of our channels, 4 of our channels have no adverts. BBC 1, 2, 3, and 4. They have no adverts. In fact, BBC 3 is not on TV anymore. 4 of them, because it's BBC 4. 3 of them have no adverts. And when we do have adverts on all the others, it's like every 15 minutes. And they're like 4 or 5 minutes long. But in America, it's like every 5 minutes you have an advert break. Like a TV show here, a good example is like a murder mystery. It will run for about 2-hour slot, and you'll have about 7 advert breaks. You'll have 15 minutes, blah, 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 and then you'll have the 8th advert break at the end before the next program begins. So 7 in that bunch. And sometimes they try and squeeze an extra one in. If it's like a shorter episode, they'll have longer adverts or shorter gaps. And I remember in the family when like you sat back into it and you're just getting back into it after the advert break, and it cuts in again. It's been like 10 minutes, 10 minutes. And my dad would turn and be like, God, they're really squeezing them in tonight. I'm off to bed. Home Skillet. Thanks for being so cool and responsive in your chat. Oh, my pleasure, Chris. My absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming along. I hope you enjoyed. I mean, I'll be wrapping this up very shortly myself as well, because it is getting a bit late on my end. But thank you for coming along. It's great fun. If you want to see more of these, let me know. I quite like doing the lives. I feel so much more like I don't have to edit this, and I can feel just much more chill. I feel like I'm just chatting to friends, which is nice. But have a good one, Chris. Stay safe. Rail says, adds a time to discuss it with your friends. That's what I use it for. Yeah, that's another thing. Americans do these kind of like watching parties, don't you? And British people don't really do that. Like, I know for the end of Game of Thrones, everyone got together and had a party. But I believe you have like parties anyway most weeks. Like you just get together. Fabulous, Chris. Be back. Be back. People like get together. Oh, it's Friday. We have to watch Game of Thrones. We don't really do that in the UK. I think some do, but generally speaking, we'll watch it on our own or without whoever's living in the house with us who wants to watch it, and then we'll then discuss it when we next see our friends. Chris Chapper. Okay, I learned recently that Heidi and Closet stands for. So I saw that. I've actually posted that already. There's a group on Facebook that I'm part of. And I posted that because I saw that in a comment on YouTube, which I thought was very funny, and then I moved it to a thing. So I have heard that. Eurovision party, Kaz is right. Eurovision is pretty much the only thing, but that's a special one, and it's not even running this year. But I believe that's not official, Chris, because she's still using Heidi N Closet. And she has never, I don't think she's officially come out and said it, unless she said it on the Race Chaser. I don't listen to podcasts. But I do think that what could be the worst name in Drag Race history, Heidi N Closet, it's terrible. If she does turn around and say that it's Nina, oh God, it's so good. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy. Heidi Nina Closet. Oh, it's like the perfect drag name. Heidi Nina Closet. She needs to come out and say the N stands for Nina. Why? But if it does stand for Nina, why wouldn't she use it? Heidi N Closet. I don't think it's true. But I so want it to be true. Heidi Nina Closet. Oh, every time I think of it. It's so good. Production, no, they wouldn't. They've only ever made people do it when it's like a name, like Trinity K. Bonet, that's Kardashian. What was that? There was a Chanel, wasn't there? Wasn't there a Chanel? What if RuPaul is the one who changes the into Nina? Girl. Heidi Nina Closet. Heidi Nina Closet. Heidi Nina Closet. It's so good. I mean, Brita Filter I get. Jan Sport I get. Those are registered trademarks and they can't use it. Like Kardashian and the other one, they can say like, what does it stand for? Oh, it stands for this. That's as much as they can do. But they can't utilize it. But, in like Brita Filter, Jan Sport. But Nina, Alaska, yeah, that's because, girl, they can't have that on a name. They do edit it, but Chris, the reason that Britta and Jan were changed to Britta and Jan is because you cannot, in American law, the copyright is so tight in America, like so tight, it's painful. You know, to the point where, you know, brand names have to be blacked out. Like when you watch The Big Bang Theory and they have a Mac computer and it's obviously like a MacBook and they have a sticker over the Apple. They can't do it. They're not allowed to. It's dumb. In the UK, we don't care. So Britta and Jan is because of that. Jan Sport is a trade name. Brita Filter is a trade name. You know, Alaska, I think, was probably suggested to her because they were like, look, I would imagine they'd say, look, we can't put Thunderfuck as your surname unless we asterisk it out, and that's just going to look weird. So just call yourself Alaska. Detox is another one. Her surname. I don't use that word. I save it for very, very naughty people. So Detox has a surname. It begins with an I. They didn't want that. But Nina? Why would they have a problem with Nina? Heidi Nina Closet. Why would they have a problem with that? I don't know why they would. I can't see production getting involved on that one. Can't see it myself. Heidi Nina Closet. Heidi Nina Closet. Jesus Christ, it's so good. Oh! so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's so clever. Heidi Nina Closet is so good. Like, I'm not just saying that as like, it's just funny, it's better. No, it is a good drag name. Heidi Nina Closet. Oh, so good. Like Karen from Finance. Boom, that is up there. Karen from I love it. Karen from Finance. I hope she's done a whole, like, the House of Office. Like Karen from Finance, Margaret from Accounts, you know, Bill from Admin, Marty the security man. Brilliant. I loved her outfit this week. She's my winner even without Nina. Lol, glad I shared. Yes, thank you for sharing. I do think it's very funny. I saw it in a YouTube comment just saying how it would be good. The House of Office, I just think is brilliant. Like, I think she has done it, but I don't know to what extent. But like, oh, you know, Barbara from Filing. It's so banal. And just stands there and just reads out a list of minutes from the last meeting. You know, Stacey the secretary. Or the Stacey from the secretarial pool. Brilliant. Brilliant. So good. I've always wanted an apartment myself, maybe a condo association. Oh, what, as a drag name? Chris. Or are you just saying you want to live in an apartment? This is taking a weird turn. Is it the wine? If I have too much to drink? Like, instead of House of, oh, I see. So like, the Condo Association of New York Architects. What would I have? I mean, I don't know if any of them would work. The only one, because I have two drag characters. One's a little bit more mainstream and one's a little bit, I don't do drag, but if I did drag, I have my two characters. One of them is like a socialite, and you could say like, not the House of High Society, but just High Society. So you have, you know, your drag children. You're like, oh yes, this is so-and-so from High Society. That's the one. But the other one is so much more subversive that it would make sense to have a house. Rel says, my name would be Huda Helishi. Who the hell is she? Who the hell is she? Didn't get that at first. I didn't get that, so it has to be, if it has to be explained, I think it could be, I think the spelling could be slightly different. Who the hell is she that I like it? Who the hell is she? Because it's who the hell is she? But who the hell is she? The gap is in a different place. So something like who the hell? Girl, I'm writing it down. I have your answer. This is your name. Hang on. Yeah. I don't know if this is the spelling. This is brilliant, Raul. Good idea. But I don't know if this is the spelling, but because you have to have the gap. Who, like, I like the hell, but what if she was like had a Bianca Del Rio moment? Who the hell is she? Who the hell is she? Because who the hell is she? It puts the break in a different point, like Heidi in Closet. Heidi in Closet. Heidi in Closet. It doesn't. It's too jarring. I mean, who the hell is she? Who the hell is she? It's unless it was like HELLYSHE. Who the hell is she? Like if it's who the hell, it just, I saw it as who the hell is she. I'm not saying everyone would see it as that, but I saw it as who the hell is she, and I was like, what? And then who the hell is she? Who the Huda Elishi. Huda Elishi. You'd have to, yeah, there's something there. There's something there. Or, hang on. You couldn't do HUDA because that's a makeup brand, which is annoying because HUDA, Huda, would be good. Huda. Hang on, because I do like Huda. I'm writing. Probably can't read my writing well. Huda Elishi. Huda Elishi. Huda Elishi. I think we're getting there, but I've got something like that. Huda Elishi. There's a slight difference. If it's Heli, it kind of seems like more Helishi. I'll credit if you ever get famous. Oh, more than that. I'll take 10%. I'll be your manager. I think I want my drag name to be Garnish. I like it. Garnish. I feel like everything would be salad related. Garnish. I think I'm pretty good at coming up with drag names. I think I'm pretty good at it. And yeah, it's always something really weird though. And it just comes to me. It's not I'm going to sit there and be like, okay, here's a list that I've written down. I sort of have to look at someone. And then I'm like, okay, that would be yours. I'm either a pickle or a cherry. Bit limiting though, isn't it? So we're going for glamour Amazonia realness. And you're like, I'm a pickle. How are you going to make a pickle? I think it's the wine. How are you going to make a pickle glamorous? Love Stephen, but inspired by my bar job. Garnish. So you could have so it's a bit like milk. Because milk was supposed to be about creamed milk, semi-skimmed, 2%, sour milk, almond milk. And garnish could be like that. You could be kind of citrusy, like a citrus orange peel garnish. You could be like an olive. You could be a cherry garnish. You could be a salad dressing garnish. You could be a sprig of parsley garnish. You could be a broccoli. Can we not? My drag name, I didn't say it. I'm not putting that in public. Just in case I ever do drag. No, I'll tell you why. Because I have wanted to write a book. I mean, you never know. I might end up doing drag one day. I don't think so, but I might. But I have an idea for a character which I have spoken to a friend about, who is big in he's a name in the New York drag scene. He's a name. I Skype with him, etc., and I said to him, by the way, this is my drag name. Like, if I was to, I have two. And the one that is like a proper draggy, the other one is a bit subversive. The one that's proper draggy is like, I like it. I think it's brilliant. I don't know if it will ever see the light of day. Kaz knows one of them. I don't know if you know both of them, Kaz. I know you know one of them. The newer one, the subversive one. But the main one, I came up with the character years ago and I just sat on it. And then I realized something. I've been writing, here's a side note, I've been writing a book on and off for about 20 years. And it's a murder mystery. And I wrote a lot, I've lost a lot, computer crashes, it's like cursed. But I could never pinpoint, it's a murder mystery. And I could never pinpoint who my detective was. Are you seeing where this is going? So I then had this realization one day. What if the detective was my drag queen? But not as a drag queen, like an actual person. Like, this is the character, fully fledged woman. And I thought, this could work. This could really work. So I'm not releasing the name, because if that book does get finished, I don't want that name stolen. I don't even know if I can use it. I think I can, but I don't want that name stolen because it's a pun name. It's a pun name. So I don't want someone taking it. Just in case. If I know that the book will never see the light of day, then firstly I'll be depressed. But yeah, because it's something I'm considering doing in lockdown, actually. Yeah, I'm considering writing it in lockdown because I think, sorry, Kaz, I think the gyms are going to be closed for a while. So I need something to do. Because if you didn't know, I'm a personal trainer by day and a group fitness instructor. I'm a PT. I have another name that worked better as a porn name, Genitalia. Lol. Genitalia. But yeah, I think I'm pretty good. You know what I will do? I will tell you a different drag name that I had rejected, but it's still mine. Still mine. So if anyone ever uses it, let the record show I came up with this. I like the name Diva Glamour as a drag name, but the joke is that you have free reign how to say it. So if you want to be fabulous, you just be like, Diva Glamour. You know, ladies and gentlemen of Hamburger Marys, please welcome to the stage, Diva Glamour. You know, you could do Diva Glamour. You know, you could, like, the joke is to make the name as ridiculous as possible, a bit like the aristocrats joke, but it wouldn't, I don't think it would work that well because everyone would have to be in on it. It's an old school name, Diva Glamour. It's old school, honey. Like, what's the name of that woman, the queen that dropped from the ceiling and did a splits to I Need a Hero? Very that. Diva Glamour. It's mine. It's not my main one, and it's not my subversive one. My subversive one is great, but my friend didn't like it. My drag friend didn't like it. I was like, it's brilliant. What are you talking about? Very Paris is Burning. Hello, can we talk? I haven't seen Paris is Burning in, like, I don't know, a year, and I feel like I need to watch it. I used to watch like every month. I love Paris is Burning. It's so good. So good. I feel like we have completely drifted from the Kiki. If you've made it this far, if you're watching this on catch up, even the guys that have been here from minute one, we've sort of disappeared, haven't we, from Kiki? We've disappeared from Drag Race. We're just talking about drag. Why not? You know what? It's my channel. I can do what I want with it. So we're doing that. I've had an idea, by the way. I would like your feedback, people. I would like your feedback. As a side note, I very much would like audience participation. So, obviously, I have come back to YouTube. My plans, of which were many, which were mentioned in my welcome back video, but I couldn't show you because I film on my iPhone, and it's an iPhone 7. I couldn't show you, but my plans, these are the plans that I have put in place over the last, I thought it was 9 months. It's actually been over a year. These are the plans that I have been put in place. I started this in 2018. So my return to YouTube has not been driven by the coronavirus. This is a long time in the making. And hold that thought. Damir Tejin, hello from Serbia. My God, hello Serbia. By the way, you have the most stunning language for music. It's like your language was written to be sung. Oh my God, like, My favorite song, one of my favorite songs, is from Serbia. Um, I've been on the juice. Beauty Queens. Zavet. Beli moj golube. Beli moj golube, kao zavet sveta, ljubav je, etc. Also love Nije ljubav stvar and Se osveća moj, Eurovision tracks, obviously. But I have met Bojana Stamanov. Met her. I love the Serbian language. The music is so good from Serbia. It just flows beautifully. Anyway, so I've come back to YouTube. Obviously, I've had a lot of plans, and I think I kind of got in my head. You're very welcome, Damir. You can always tell a Zelko song because it's like 3 minutes long, and the first 45 seconds is musicals, like instrumental. So I have been coming back to. Sorry, I get distracted. Come back to YouTube. I have plans that have been in place for over a year that I'm now putting into action. My first few videos, obviously I've had a complete name change, which I'm thinking of changing. Would you hate me if I changed it to Chris Thomas? Also, the content I've been putting up, I've taken a step back and I've been like, why is it not performing? I know it's a huge departure, and I think I've been a bit too formal about it. I think I've been a bit too serious about it. Because it is my job. That is my day job. And I think I've not brought the fun. And I think I got in my head a little bit. I think I've been treating it too much like a business and not just as fun with my friends, you guys. So I've been thinking of going a slightly different direction and doing things like my skincare secrets, my skincare regime, my hair care secrets, how to grow long hair. I actually filmed a video of my long hair journey, and I think the file is corrupted, so I'm going to have to video it again. I'm thinking of things. I wrote some down. I was thinking about this well into the wee hours last night. My top 5 Eurovision tracks, my Eurovision experiences, because I've been to Eurovision, my favorite rides at Disneyland. I know it sounds really weird, but like kind of introduce more of my personality, more of me into it and my opinions, because I like talking about my opinions. I like doing this. I like talking and discussing and connecting with people. And I love doing the Tai Chi, and I might still include some of that, but I'm thinking of really sort of not throwing this out the window, but mixing it up and not being so serious about it. Yeah, that was the video, Rel, why I grew my hair long. That was the video that I did, and I can't seem to get it onto my computer. So I might just refilm it. It was too long anyway. It was like 15 minutes because I actually edited it. I got it onto my computer and I was editing it, and then I pulled my phone, I unplugged it once I was done, and it seems the original video hadn't like properly transferred to my computer. Even though I could edit the entire thing, it hadn't fully imported the video or something. And so I was like editing something that wasn't there. I don't know how that happened, but it's not been working. I can't get it across even through, it won't register it through the cable, and it won't work through AirDrop. So I'm like, I thought you'd tell about it for your next live stream. Well, I'm doing a video on it, so it'll be there. It's not an exciting story, but it is a strange story. It's weird. But yeah, what do you guys think if I did videos like that? Because I know that my audience was very specific, and I think I need to respect that more and bring more fun, more me, more personality, more craziness, more friendly chat, friendly banter, I think. I don't think I can get a lot of my personality across from a voiceless Tai Chi. I still want to do Tai Chi, don't get me wrong. And I want to do morning sun salutations, and I want to do meditations, and I still want those to be in there. But I'm thinking interspersed with something slightly different, something a little bit more me. Me just being me. I think I was overthinking it. I think you should focus on getting an audience that will like what you do instead of catering to ones you don't like. An audience if you don't like what you're doing. Catering to yeah. Yeah, Rel, damn it, you're right. So that's what's going to happen. It's going to be really similar to my plan, but just because the plan I have videos, ideas, I have everything ideas, everything is on my notes. And this was not just a, hey, I'm in quarantine, like I've got to do something. This has been in the process for over 12 months. And I think if I can incorporate those ideas, but twist it into this thing that I've got in my head, that's kind of like wink, wink, nudge, nudge, but still kind of just me giving my opinions on stuff, then maybe we could make it work. But I know like there's a really weird one in there, like my favorite Eurovision tracks, my favorite rides at Disneyland. But that's kind of me. I like it. I like Eurovision. I like Disneyland. I like, skincare. I like perfume. Do you want to know my favorite perfumes? Is that something you're interested in? I have a whole drawer. I'm not kidding. I have an entire drawer. Not like a little one. A full chest of drawers drawer, which is like 70% full of perfume. I know, would you believe it? I used to work in the industry. I've worked, oh look, even within hand's distance, I have some perfume. This is a knockoff. By the way, do you want a little snapshot? I could do my favorite knockoffs. This is a good knockoff. This is a good knockoff. This is called Milano Man, and it's an eau de toilette, and this smells identical to Boss Bottled, Hugo Boss, the clear bottle. It's identical, honestly. I used to sell Hugo Boss. It's this. The only difference is this lasts about 20 minutes and the other one lasts about 4 hours. But you get the proper Boss smell. How much was this? This is a 50 ml. Have a guess how much this was. Don't forget, I live in the UK. I work in pounds and pence. For a 50 ml bottle, how much do you think? I'm going to spray some. God, it smells good. This is great as a PT because I can keep topping up. Rel, I'm sucker for knockoff. It smells good and is cheap. I'm sold. Thank you, Devil's Advocate, for your input. More me. More me. I can do with that. More me. I mean, I'm a narcissist. Or play the part of one. I don't know. I'm not seeing any responses, so I'm going to just say that you all thought it was a rhetorical question. So this, if I told you this wasn't even a pound, this was 99 pence. So like in dollar form, less than $1.50. Like $1.25, $1.30. Is that not ridiculous? Is that not crazy? And it smells identical to Boss Bottled. I mean, identical. I used to have a bottle of Boss Bottled, and I used to sell Boss Bottled, and it's one of my favorites. And this was 99p from Kaz, because I know you're in the UK, Home Bargains. I love a knockoff. Maybe I'll do a video. I'm going to do a video. I'm going to write it down. I know. I'm going to write these down. Because some of them are not good. Some of them are. Best perfume dupes. Because these are dupes. I wouldn't even say they're knockoffs, because a knockoff sort of suggests that they've taken the idea and they're kind of doing something with it. This is just a duplicate. This is a straight up dupe. I have dupes of Angel by Thierry Mugler. It's not as strong, but it's good. I have dupe of Chanel No. 5, which is very good. I mean, very good dupe. I have, oh my God, 1 Million. Paco Rabanne. I have a dupe of that. That smells identical to 1 Million. They're all under a pound. I know. I have about 8 or 9 of them, I think. I also have, I have one that's more expensive, that's a dupe, £8. 8 whole pounds for 100 ml from Primark. Primark have some really good dupes. I think mostly in their London store is where I get mine, but it's a dupe of Jo Malone. English Parent Freesia, and Jo Malone has a dupe of it, and it's £8, and I wear it all the time. It's glorious. It is so glorious. Would this be in the video that you would watch? Because this is the kind of video I'm thinking of doing. This kind of stuff. You know, me talking about my opinion on something most likely very erratic. You know, my favorite Disneyland rides. Why not? Why not? My favorite Eurovision tracks. Why not? I mean, Moldova is great, but it's no Zavet. Zavet didn't even represent Serbia. That's the thing. It was in Beovizia, and they lost to Orel, Helena Tomasevic, which was very, very good. But I really liked Zavet. Beautiful. It marks a very poignant point in my life. Poignant point in my life. Yes, please. Good stuff. Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much for your feedback. I really do appreciate that, because I have no bouncing off point, really, here. I have a few friends that I have spoken with. I have spoken to, I think, 4 people, one of which used to do YouTube, big time, 65,000 subs. He used to do ASMR, very good buddy of mine. But, you know, YouTube is a fickle beast. I have friends, oh, thank you. Mostly online. That's why I do YouTube. Make new friends through here. I've made a lot of friends through YouTube, actually. A lot of them. I forget how many. Like my mate, a lot of them find me. They find my YouTube, then they follow me on social media, then they message me, and I happen to see it at some point, and then I respond, and it's kind of then just out from there, and I don't realize that that's how we started speaking. Yeah. Like, yeah, I know, isn't it late, Kaz? Sorry, look at the time, off to bed. Miss you. Hope not too much longer to see you again in flesh. I know, same. I was putting together a new Simply Stretch, and I was getting a bit emotional. I was like, oh God, when am I going to see my class again? Because it was, I have a track. I'm not going to show you. I don't even know what number this is, but this is my Simply Stretch Back to Gym playlist, and I have tracks on it. You can see that I have written, there we go. That's all you get to see. I have a playlist of when we go back to the gym, and it is emosh as hell. It's emosh. It'll make you all cry. What was I saying? But yes, good night, Kaz. Thank you for joining me. Miss you, and miss all the family, and yeah, see you soon. What was I saying? I have friends. That's what I was saying. Oh my God, what was I saying? Oh, damn it, you watched Eurovision. Tuji. Norway, 2012. We got in touch because of YouTube. He found one of my videos and we got chatting. He's brilliant. We've met up. I have a lot of time for him. I actually really liked his song. I didn't believe it deserved last place. It's one of 3 songs that have always been on my gym playlist. Stay, Runaway, Moldova, and Iceland's Hera Bjork. Je ne sais quoi. I do dips to that. Je ne sais quoi. When I had a gym. We have veered off. Okay, let's bring it back to the drag race. So, you know, I have been doing some fitness videos, and I would still like to do fitness videos. A, would you be interested in watching fitness videos? Either follow along from home, need participation, let me know. Follow along from home, or fitness ideas, you know, try this, or these supplements, these protein bars, etc. But what if they were to RuPaul songs? This was something I've been toying with for a few days. What if there was like a core track or a full body 5-minute workout to American by RuPaul or Glamazon? What if there was a sun salutation to Sissy That Walk? Or, I don't know, like, that kind of song? You know, I am what I am, or I don't know. Ah, see, that's interesting, Damir. Am I pronouncing your name right, Damir Tejin? That's interesting. You don't do fitness, but if it's a RuPaul song, maybe yes. Interesting. And I mean, I do teach dance, but I don't think I do a dance routine. Fabulous. I'm glad I'm saying it right. So I'm thinking, like, you know, a Tai Chi to Click Clack, or what have we got? I mean, I don't buy with songs, but I probably shouldn't use Die Tomorrow. That's a bit awkward. Because we have to be all about health at the moment. So that could be interesting. That could be interesting. Right. You have given me some food for thought. Thank you very much. I'm just trying to think of any other Serbian songs that I know. But it's mostly Eurovision related. Mostly. Beli moj golube, kao zavjet sveta ljubav je. Golube, ima tvoja leta, ajmo li zastave, beli zastave, ima sve tu. Anyway, still waiting on that core workout video. Oh God, don't. You know why I didn't do it? This is really embarrassing. Do you know why I didn't do it? Because I couldn't do it myself. My core is strong, right? My core is strong. And even though I don't like have visible abs because I eat too much chocolate, but it was too intense. It was too intense. I couldn't finish it. So I was practicing it for a few days, and then I thought, hang on a minute, even if I can do this is way too intense for a non-athlete. Like, I'm a personal trainer and I'm struggling. Thank you, Damir. Thank you. I try my best to make the language sound good. I don't want it to be butchered. I do that with anything. I am Kimura Black now. What's that adjective? I used to study Japanese. I studied a lot of languages. I used to study Japanese, and my very first lesson, this is me showing off now. My very first lesson, my teacher told us all how we could introduce ourselves in Japanese, and the room did it. And as they were doing it, I was listening, and I was listening to her as she was a Japanese woman. And I listened to her intonation, and then I introduced myself. And I remember it was, Hajimemashite, watashi wa Chris desu, douzo yoroshiku onegai. And she looked at me and was like, have you been to Japan before? Have you lived there? Like, what? I was like, no, I just copied you. And she's like, perfect. Perfect. I was like, well, okay, great. It's my first lesson. Whoop, whoop. A core workout, Damir, is your abs, your core. So your abdominals and your obliques. This bit, a core workout. And usually as well, it can involve the lower back, because technically your core is this. And we often say core is abs, but really core is everything, front and back. Postural muscles, abdominals rectus, obliques. So I was putting together a core workout to get your abs working, and it was 5 minutes long, and my God, it was tough. And then I actually made it easier, and that was still tough. I was like, I can't finish it, so I can't upload this. It's not fair. But if I did a core track to Sissy That Walk, I can imagine like a mountain climber thing. Sissy That Walk. That'd be fun. I could do that. I could do like a hold the press. What if, you ready for this? Did I do it with weights? No. No weights. I am very good at creating a workout. I think I'm very good, touch wood. I think I'm pretty good at coming up with a workout which involves little to no equipment. Because I used to teach a circuit class at a gym until recently. We had minimal equipment because it was circuits and because we had a small room and we didn't have much time. I tended not to use the bars or the weights on the bars. I tended to only use hand weights that went up to 5 kilos max, 5 kilos, and steps. That's all I had, and mats. So you can't do a whole lot with that. And every week I came up with something different for the best part of like 2 years or a year and a half. I came up with something different every week. And people were leaving having what one of my class members had, she was wearing a special heart rate monitor. She did a different class somewhere else, was very high intensity, very structured, all singing, all dancing, cost her a fortune. And then she came to my class, which was circuit, simple, basic moves, done properly with simple weights. She got the same calorie burn in the same time as the all singing, all dancing one. The same heart rate, because everything was monitored. It was a proper heart rate monitor. She had the same calorie burn, heart rate going up, just the whole shebang. It was the same. And I was like, so no, I did not do a core workout with weights. I can do them with weights, but I don't tend to. If I'm because I choreograph it to the music. So when I choreographed it, there was no weights. And that's when you know it's scary, if I can't do it. But I can do most things with core. It's tough. The longest core track I've done was 6 minutes nonstop of movements the entire time. 6 minutes. That was in one of my yoga classes. I do core in the middle. 6 minutes. It had Pilates 100, so you're lying on your coccyx, your legs are up, and then you do Pilates 100. Oh, that gets your core fired up. We did it twice. So yeah, but okay, I got sidetracked. What if? Would you watch a video that either had RuPaul songs or didn't have RuPaul songs that you could put your own on? Because if I put RuPaul songs up, I don't get money from that. Not that I get a whole lot, and not that this is all about the money. But if I put it on, I don't get the same algorithm. I don't get I don't get as much good favor as YouTube would like me to have. Booty blast, like bubble butt workout from home, minimal weights optional. Would you be interested in that? Would you be interested if it's to like RuPaul music or like good music, something like that? Or would you do it without music that you can put your own music to? I asked this question because I did a Legs, Bums and Tums this week with Joe Wicks on his YouTube channel, and it had no music. I put my own music on that I like, and it really helped. I think if I was doing it without the music, boring. If I did it with music that he had chosen that wasn't my taste, I'd probably still find it boring. Would you prefer to have the option? Or would you like a standalone track, like say, Sissy That Walk as like bubble butt workout, and then like a 20-minute long video of like a full-on booty glutes leg blast that you could put your own music to? I'm sure you can find royalty-free music that's the same BPM. You would be very surprised. I thought I had found royalty-free music, and YouTube still had issue with it. So the background music that I used in my meditation video, which I thought was PPL free, royalty free, because it was on. I bought it on Amazon, on iTunes, but it was a generic, nothing of an album. Like it's literally so basic, beautiful songs, but it's not like a, now that's what I call meditation. It was this random little thing that was put out. YouTube still found it and flagged it. And it was like, And I've seen the proper royalty-free stuff. It's terrible. Like the proper royalty-free. It's terrible. Benjamin says, I'd like it without music, probably, especially if it was something I was going to do again, so I could do it over and over. Very good point. Because then you could do a different song each time. You could do a different playlist each time. I'm feeling a bit more punk rock today. Let's do that. That could work. I'd care more about following along to the exercise. Don't mind the music much. But that's fair enough then. So I suppose for the people that don't want the music, they don't have to have it. So I could just say a little disclaimer at the beginning. Guys, put your own music on, whatever you want. But then I could also do a, abs track to Glamazon. Champion. Superstar. That could be fun. I have ideas. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. Thank you. You give me focus, because me on my own, I start going around in circles. I want to do a good job. You know what I mean? I want, if I'm going to put my mind to this, my energy to this, I want to do a good job, and I want to do you guys proud, and I want you to enjoy what I'm putting out there. And I don't want to be going off on a wrong track. And I don't have a YouTube community around me. Like, I don't live in London, and I don't have a lot of YouTubey friends. I have a few. I have some friends that don't do YouTube anymore that know the struggles, and I have 1 or 2 friends that still do YouTube. But I don't want to be pestering them the whole time, being like, so what are you doing here? What are you doing with this? I don't want to pester them the whole time. So I'm kind of like making this up as I go along. But you guys are keeping me on track, so thank you. Thank you. I just hope it works, because I would like to have that community again that we had before. There was 13,000 of us. I don't know if the Kiki is going to come back properly. Maybe the live streams. This is fun. I really enjoy the live stream. I really enjoy this. I mean, it doesn't feel like 2 hours to me at all. I love this. But filming some proper videos, traditional style, would be good. Thank you. Please, I need Kiki. We'll see. What I could do is like a full Kiki, like as a roundup of the series, because we are so far into the series. It seems ridiculous to kind of revive it properly and then it be done in 3 weeks. Maybe for All Stars. Maybe Celebrity Drag Race, if I watch it. Maybe. Is it good? Is Celeb Drag Race good? If it's not, I won't do it. It's like reviewing Drag U. That's the point. That's the tea. I actually liked Drag U. I never got to finish it. I think I watched like 80% of all the episodes, and I think it was series 2, series 3. I didn't find the links for. Rel's like, Dami's like, yes! Benjamin, I think series 1 might be good because they would work to tie up cohesive points, if that makes sense. Oh, I think series 1's, as in like one episode that covers the whole series. I think that could work. I did that for All Stars 3 because I didn't do the Kiki for All Stars 3. It was a mess, and I could see it being a mess. I think I did the Meet the Queens or the reveal, cast reveal, and then I was like, this is going to be a mess. Like, all these queens except BB finished like 5th or lower. It's going to be a mess. And it was. And I was right. Anyway, so yeah, I might do one to wrap it up, but we could talk about the Sherry Pie impact. Not necessarily go into depth about it, but just be like how it affected editing, how it affected the flow of the story, the narration, if you will. We could talk about the surprising eliminations, the controversial eliminations. Cough Jan, Cough Rock'em. They were controversial, for sure. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do a one, and then if that's well received, then maybe we'll do All Stars, or maybe we'll do Celeb Drag Race. Maybe All Stars. Maybe All Stars. Right. I can feel my eyes getting a bit tired. It's 1:15. My God. What about one? I can't see straight. I hope you're all keeping very well throughout lockdown. Damir, Sabia, what's the tea? Very quickly before I go, because I am wrapping this up. What's the situation? What's the tea in Serbia? Are you okay? Is the country in lockdown? What's going on? Because I know about the USA, I know about China, South Korea, Japan, Australia, New Zealand. I know France, I know Sweden, I know Germany, I know Denmark and Finland. I don't know Serbia. We are in lockout. Okay. Have you had many infections and deaths? Sorry if this gets a bit morbid. I'm just interested. I like global affairs. I keep forgetting you're 5 hours ahead of me. I know. Are you, Rel, where are you? East Coast America. Is that Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina? South Carolina? New York, Washington, D.C., Maryland, Maine. Maine, are you from Maine? Not so many. That's very good, Damir. Please stay safe. And be good. I hope they reopen Serbia soon. I don't think the UK is going to be open for quite a while. Philadelphia. Y'all from Philly. Y'all from the home of the cheesesteak. Is it cheesesteak? Philly cheese grill. Grilled cheese? Philadelphia steak. Philadelphia. Philly. What is it? They close every weekend, every day from 5 p.m. until 5 a.m. So in the UK, damn it, everything's closed except supermarkets. I think that's it. Cheesesteak. Yeah, I was right. Philly cheesesteak. Girl. I've not been to Philly. I've done Florida when I was 5. Disney. Oh, curfew. We're all on a permanent curfew. We're not allowed out unless it's to exercise or go to the shops. That's it. I've done Florida when I was 5, did Disney World, but I don't really remember it. I've done New York twice. I've done New Jersey. I've done Niagara Falls. I've done DC. I've done Virginia, the Blue Ridge Mountains. I went to a lovely place called Luray in the Shenandoah Valley. That was beautiful. Excuse me, beautiful. New Jersey. I'm from the New Jersey of the UK. Not that you can tell from the accent. Yeah, I like America. I just think your, lack of healthcare is. Geordie Shore, please. Geordie Shore is not Jersey Shore. It's a spin-off of it, but Newcastle is not the New Jersey of the UK. Essex is the New Jersey of the UK. And I'm from Essex. Originally, I don't live there now. But you know what they say, you can take the boy out of Essex, but you can't take Essex out of the boy. Essex, the only way is Essex. Oh, shut up. Vajazzle, what's a fajita? What's a vajazzle? I thought it was like a Mexican dinner or something. The only way is up, baby. The GC, Gemma Collins. Darren, I'm not getting in there because I'm claustrophobic, all right? God, it's like having a job 24 hours a day for 2 days running. I've got money. I don't need money. You think these bastards going to pay my mortgage? I've got money. That's the GC, darling. The GC. Right. We have spun out of control. All the people that are just joining are like, what? I thought this was the Kiki. We've been and done that, honey. Been and gone. It's a 2-hour video. Oh my God. It's ridiculous. If you're watching this on recap, like on catch up, You made it to 2 hours. Snaps for you. Well done. I sadly had Made in Chelsea push down me. Much better. But Made in Chelsea is hysterical. Mark Francis. You know, Mark Francis, you really shouldn't leave your door unlocked. But why not? We're in the Royal Borough. G3 for UK Drag Race Season 2. Maybe. Should be so funny. They need to get Paul O'Grady as a judge. But they won't. They won't. I always got compared to him. I get compared to, not physically, but verbally, because I do speak well. Everyone tells me so. I can't deny it. I can't pretend that I don't. I know that I come across as a little bit harsh. Which is legit just because I'm gay, but anyway. Mark Francis. What's Nando's? Is that a club? No, it's a place where you buy chicken. Oh, no, I don't know. Mark Francis is hysterical. Oh, what was the best line? He goes, darling, you simply must come in for a restorative glass of champagne. Oh my God, that is such a me thing. You must come in for a restorative glass of champagne. Yes. As far as I'm concerned, champagne is an essential. Wallow. Oh my God, I've just ignored all of my text messages for the last 2 hours. I think my friends hate me. Sauce pigs. Sauce. How random. My Instagram feed is just bizarre. Right. I'm gonna wrap this up here. What do I follow on Instagram? This is so random. Bizarre. Right. I can't stop watching. It's so weird. It's a video. There we go. Right. I'm gonna walk away because I'm being rude. Thank you so much for coming along. I know some of you have been here for the whole time. Rel, my God. Ben, you've been here for ages. Damn it, you've put in your time. Thank you very much for coming along. I do appreciate it. I just want to see if there's a way to see the full list. Participants. There we go. Fabulous. Right. I'm off to bed. Keep safe. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have an awesome day tomorrow. Ben, you need to tell me what you've been sewing next time. Next time I'm on, let me know. But thank you so much for your info. Thank you very much for joining me for the Kiki this week. And I will keep you posted. I will hopefully be videoing tomorrow. I have ideas and I want them to be fierce and fabulous. So, cracking. See you guys soon. Good night or good morning if you're in the eastern side of the world. Love yous. Bye. Now, where's the end stream button?